Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video today. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing a review and a little recap of EDC Las Vegas 2017. We're about a week out, exactly a week out from the festival, so I've had some time to kind of like reflect on my experience and listen to some of the sets and go through my photos and just really think about some of the things I wanted to talk about with you guys and just give like an honest review. Overall, it was amazing, as it always is, completely memorable, and throughout everything in the festival, just from like my hotel to getting there to hearing the music, it was an amazing experience, and I'm very sad to not be there. The EDC depression and blues are like hitting me pretty hard this year, but I've definitely had some time to think about it. So if you'd like to hear my opinion and what my experience was, then keep watching. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to everyone that came up to me and said hello and told me that they were a subscriber. That was awesome to meet you and just to kind of like get to chat with you a little bit. A special shout out to Jaden and Courtney from Australia. We got to hang out at the Dre's pool on Friday, which was so much fun. So it was really, really cool meeting you guys in person, and hopefully at some other festivals and shows I get to meet some more of you. So yeah, never be afraid to come over and say hi. But just to kind of get into my experience a little bit, I'll talk about kind of my hotel and the experience getting there and the transportation, and then I'll talk a little bit more about like my favorite sets of the weekend and the stage production and that kind of stuff. To start off, I stayed in the Luxor Hotel this year, and it was awesome. I highly recommend it. It was a really good price. We definitely got a budget. There were 3 of us staying in a room with 2 queen beds, and it was kind of like a hub for EDC. A ton of people were at the hotel going to EDC, so it was really cool to just like run into people and kind of like have that vibe throughout. There was also the iHeart Raves like pop-up shop in our hotel, which I didn't actually get to go inside and experience, but there's just kind of like a whole vibe throughout the hotel the entire week. So I recommend the Luxor as an option for a hotel next year for you. So on Thursday night, I ended up going to Omnia to see Elenium and Armin van Buuren. I have a friend, shout out to Will in Las Vegas, who's a promoter, and we just like went out with a bunch of friends on Thursday night and had like a terrace table overlooking the strip, which was so much fun. It was an awesome night. So we got to see Elenium set out on the terrace there. And then on Friday we did Dre's pool party, which is like my favorite pool in Vegas. It's like right on the rooftop of the Cromwell Hotel. It was so hot this year. I'm sure all of you know and all of you experienced it. It was extremely hot to be outside all day, but the pool party on Friday was like one of my favorite parts of the trip. We had so much fun doing that. So thank you again, Will, for hooking us up with that. So let's talk about the festival. First and foremost, it was nothing short of amazing. The stages this year, I think, were my favorite out of the 3 years that I've gone. The Kinetic Gaia main stage was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I didn't spend too much time there, but when I did, I was completely blown away. I'm so happy that they had Base Pod again this year with the same design. I know it's going to change next year, but I spent a lot of time at Base Pod this year and a lot of time at Circuit Grounds, and I thought that the changes to Circuit Grounds were awesome. I loved the kind of like design that they had and the lasers and the lighting. It was so sick. I think Sunday I was at Circuit Grounds for like 6 sets right in a row, so I spent a ton of time there. But I have to say, even Quantum Valley, I went in there for like a hot second, but their production in the tent was amazing. So I have to give a big shout out to Insomniac, because it was nothing short of spectacular, and I know their production is always great, but I absolutely loved the stage design this year. So as far as my favorite sets, there were a lot, but I tried to narrow it down. So I would say my top 5 would be Seven Lions, Oliver Heldens, Dylan Francis, Jaws, and I'm going to throw Kygo in there. Seven Lions and Oliver Heldens are probably like my top 2 favorite artists, but by far their sets this year like blew everything out of the water. Seven Lions had the 1:30 a.m. set on Sunday, and he had the fireworks set I literally shed tears. Like, it was just like so good. I can't describe it. If you can find the set to listen to it, it was like very melodic. He kind of just played to the crowd and the mood and the setting, and it was like a freaking musical journey. I absolutely loved it. And Oliver Heldens killed it as always with the deep house. I was dancing the whole time. Again, he was at Circuit Grounds, so I'm trying to find that set to listen back to it because he was awesome. Dylan was so fun. Like, I have fun every single time I go to a Dylan show, but we stayed for the entire thing. We were gonna do half of Dylan and then half of Above and Beyond, but we just couldn't leave his set. It was so much fun. So I've listened to that like 3 times this past week already. So huge shout out to him. I love Dylan Francis. And Jaws is one of my favorites. Jaws was at Cosmic Meadow and he killed it. And Kygo really surprised me because I think I thought he was gonna be just like super chill. But he was just really good live. And I was like singing my heart out, and he had an awesome show on Saturday. So I'm very excited that I finally got to check him out. And I just want to do a quick shout out to a couple other sets that I just have to mention because they were so good to me. Axel and Grosso, Alesso, Black Tiger Sex Machine was sick. Millennium, Blau, and Nightmare. Like, I think all of those combined, I just have like certain moments that I remember from their sets that just like touched me, or I just had a moment where I was just like thoroughly enjoying my life and myself, and I absolutely love their sets. I actually can't even listen to the Millennium set yet because it makes me cry. So I'm kind of gonna give that one like some more time because it's like just too emotional to listen to. But he absolutely killed it on Friday. So some of my favorite moments, of course, first and foremost, would be seeing one of my best friends, Brady, and being there with my little Tara. Like, the 3 of us come together. This is our 3rd EDC in a row, and it would not be the same without them. I couldn't do it without them. Like, they totally are my heart and soul, and they make this festival what it is. So I'm so thankful. Oh no, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm so thankful that I had them there with me and we got to experience it together. Anyone who has a rave fam out there can completely understand the connection that you have with the people that you do these festivals with. So I have to say thank you to them for making this so memorable for me. I also want to say a big shout out to Sarah and Mike, who I met from Baltimore, Maryland on Saturday night during the Dylan Francis set. They were so much fun, and we ended up hanging out with them on Sunday as well. So hi guys, it was awesome meeting you, and I'm glad we came out with some new friends. Some other highlights for me, of course, the fireworks. Every single night I picked a different spot. We did Base Pod for Zomboy, we were at Seven Lions, and then I think we were like in between Kygo and Dylan, and watched over the Kinetic Gaia, and they're just amazing. They take my breath away. I've been watching countless videos of the fireworks since then, so that was a highlight. The totems fucking crack me up every single year. I can't get enough of them. You guys are so creative. I wish I could bring one with me from New Jersey because I had so many ideas coming out of it this year. But the totems were on point as always. Like, everyone taking care of each other was just another huge thing. I think people have like this idea of what they think music festivals are, or raves are, and I have to say, with the heat and everything that everyone was going through, waiting on lines, people were fanning each other, they had misters, and they were spraying each other and sharing water, and I just thought that was really, really great to see. Like, despite people being frustrated with things that were going on, I saw a lot of people caring for each other and taking care of each other, and I think that that was a huge part of this festival and what makes EDC and Insomniac festivals different from everything else. There's just a whole community, and people were supporting each other throughout the weekend, so that was awesome to see. There are some things I would definitely change. Without a doubt, the shuttles. Everyone's heard about it at this point. I'm not going to get into it too much. I took the Las Vegas Village shuttle stop. It was fucking horrendous. The worst out of all the 3 years I've been there. It took us like 3.5 to 4 hours on Saturday. We almost missed Kygo's set, and we got online at 6 p.m. Luckily, we filled our Camelback, so we had water, but I think that was a huge issue. People were dehydrated, there wasn't enough water, the lines were too long, it was understaffed, and they know that, and I think that they're going to address this in the future. But just for anyone who went for their first time this year, it was not like that in the past. It definitely took a turn for the worse this year for whatever reason. But I would say that was my biggest negative. And on Sunday, we actually ended up taking Lyft, and we got to the festival within a half an hour, and we were there before the gates even opened on Sunday. So that just goes to show you the biggest difference. As far as next year, I'm not sure. I'm waiting to hear what Pasquale does and how he addresses the situation, because I thought the shuttles were a great idea. But if you ask me right now, I would probably do an Uber or a Lyft next year as far as transportation goes. And yeah, and then another thing, like this can either be a pro or con for you, the weather. I love hot, dry heat, but this was brutal. Some of the buses didn't have air conditioning working, which was horrible. But I personally, in my group, we drank a ton of Pedialyte and water, and we had our Camelbacks full the whole time, so we kept hydrated. But I noticed a lot of people probably not doing that as much as they should have. And another thing I noticed, there wasn't enough staff at some of the tents. So there were a couple general stores and like Insomniac merch tents, and they would have like 1 or 2 people working them, and I just noticed like the lines building up, and we literally waited to get like a hat for 30 minutes one night, and I just think that's ridiculous. Like, you know how many people are coming to this festival, so I think it was way understaffed at some of the tents. That should have just kind of been like moving it along and getting people through it quickly. So I would say that was just another negative for me. As far as next year, because that's what everyone's thinking about right now, I can tell you right now, the thing that gets me the most excited and gets me out of my like EDC blues is to start planning for next year already. But 100% I'm going to be going, hopefully with my rave fam, Tara and Brady, and we want to go with a bigger group next year to see what that experience is like. Probably would try out a new hotel or maybe do the Luxor again. I think I would do either Lyft or Ubers to the festival, depending on what kind of announcements they make in the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm super excited. To me, this is just a weekend I can't miss. I love it so much, and this experience, despite all the craziness that went on, I wouldn't change anything, and I had the best time of my life. So that's pretty much it for me and my review. I had an awesome time. I'm gonna put some videos now and some pictures in so you can see like what I went through and see some clips that I took from it. I had like my Snapchat glasses on, so a lot of these might like look a little strange. But yeah, it was just so much fun, and you guys can expect a lot more videos to come out over the summer, so please subscribe and take a second to like this video. It helps me out a lot. And I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm excited to bring you guys some more content this summer, all EDM and festival and beauty related. Yeah, please join the family and subscribe. And thank you guys for checking out this video. And stick around if you want to see some of my EDC Las Vegas movies and videos.